the lady who was head of this agency wished death upon me. So lawyers had to get involved because I was being charged with corporate espionage. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what goes into the edit of an unscripted reality television show? Well, today we are sitting with Andrew Dixon. Andrew is head of post-production here at afrOkaans and is one of the foremost editors in the country when it comes to unscripted. He's worked on big productions like Survivor, Temptation Island, and MasterChef, and Andrew's going to share his knowledge with us. My name's Leroux Botha, and this is Unscripted with Andrew Dixon. So, Andrew, thank you so much for joining, and thanks for taking the time out of your. I know you're very busy at the moment with a big production that is really very busy. I mean, really busy. That is really taking some time now. Let's start there. How is your current project, which we can't name yet, but it is for a big streamer.
Yes.
How is that in terms of editing different from anything else that you've done before?
Wow, Leroux.
Let's start off with a hard one.
Start. Yeah. It's been very eye-opening because it's kind of like all the things we have learnt in the past have been thrown out the window, and it's like, there we go, start from scratch, and you're kind of learning to edit again. So it's been very difficult, but it's sometimes been rewarding. And there's been many days where we've wanted to all quit and walk out and open a flower shop or something, which I don't think will be much better or less stressful. But yeah, it's been eye-opening, but it's been very rewarding. It's just a different way of telling stories. And yeah, we have yet to still complete it, and we'll see how it turns out. Yeah. And it's going to turn out great because the lessons we are learning now is good going forward. Yeah. For post-production as a whole. Yeah.
Let's go back. Where did you learn? Where did you learn how to edit? I mean, tell me the backstory.
Quite a story. So when I grew up, I had a best friend who loved making home videos, and he loved it. Like every time we were at his house, we were reenacting Jurassic Parks and Back to the Futures, and we'd always make these home videos. But I never really had a love for, I enjoyed doing it, but I never had a love for movies or TV. And then we finished school. My friend went off and became a director, and he started doing music videos. But I went to the UK because I love DJing. So I was in the UK, and I was working and DJing at a Durham-based nightclub, and it got a bit hairy there because there was lots of gangs involved. And one day I was at the club because I was a shift manager, and then the club manager was there, and we're at the bar, and this girl and this man came in, and the girl asked for a drink, and I asked her for her ID, and because I knew she was too young to drink, and she pulled out this piece of paper. And she said, "There's my ID," and looked at it, and it was her prison release form. She had just been released from prison. So I said to her, "Well, it doesn't give me your age here." So she was like, "Okay, fair enough." And she walked away. And as she walked away, she picked up a chair and threw it at me, and it smashed the whole bar apart. And her boyfriend started trying to attack me. So it was that day when I thought, you know what, I'm done with this club life and DJing.
That would do it.
Yeah. And then my friend said to me, he's like, "Andrew, you know, do you like DJing? Maybe you'd like editing. It's the same kind of thing." Yeah. So I was like, okay. So then I came back to South Africa, and he's like, "Just come to the office with me and hang out." So I went to his office. It was a production company in Johannesburg, and I just hung out there I was there for like 6 months. And then one day the guy that owned the company turned around and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Yeah. So I said, we were like, no, he's just learning how to edit. So he's like, "Oh, okay." So then he's like, "I'll pay you." He paid me a very small stipend every month, and I started to learn how to edit. And then from there, it just grew, and I started doing music videos and that, and I started to learn all like After Effects and DVD compilations at the time. And then from there, it just grew and grew and grew. I went into corporate videos, started in music videos, then went to corporate videos, and then one day I was asked to do a reality show, and that was at Curious Pictures in Johannesburg, and that's how I met Henry Basson and Craig Bleksley, And from there, it's kind of history. And I got onto my first big reality show, which was MasterChef. And that was where I found my love for reality television. Yeah. And I got to sit with the best and learn, which was like still today, I cannot believe I got to sit with Craig and Hundrey and Donald Clark and all of them and learn this trade, and I never looked back. Yeah. Never touched a corporate or music video again.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So you're a storyteller at heart. I mean, it's through and through.
Yeah.
And that's your passion. Where do you start when you get a Survivor, or you get a MasterChef, or you get where do you start?
So Craig always does when you start at the beginning. Yeah. It's quite funny that, because obviously you get all your content notes and everything from the content producers and everyone involved in putting the story together, but obviously they haven't seen everything. So like Craig always taught me, is watch everything. So you kind of have the story and you watch from the beginning and you start to pull out those moments that tell the story and then color in with things that no one has seen of the story. So basically that's how it works. Not as easy. I'm making it sound very easy, but it's like those 5 stages of grief. You definitely go through the 5 stages of grief and editing, where you think something's working and then it just falls apart. Yeah. And then the joy of finding that it's working again. Yeah. So
in essence, the fact that you have to kind of watch everything is a lot. There's a lot that goes with that, because I know for instance on a Survivor, it's almost 24 hours of filming happening for 39 days.
Yeah.
And there is a lot that ends up on the cutting room floor.
I mean, most of it lands up on the cutting floor. And the thing is, the things that we see is just incredible. I think that's the problem. I think the problem is the things that land up on the cutting floor are really great moments that show a person's personality and character, but those things are thrown away because there's no time for that. So we miss a lot of things, a lot of really dodgy things as well that people don't see. But it really is a lot of work, and it is a labor of love. And I think that's why a lot of editors are perhaps intimidated by reality, because it is so much work. And obviously we don't get the luxury of time. So to watch through everything and try and cut an ep, it's very short time. So and it can be stressful, but it's like there's nothing better than having an ep presented to the executives, in that when you've worked your butt off on it and it got the reaction that you wanted it to get. Yeah.
In terms of that, there's a lot of work that goes into the story producers kind of coming up with a story, and how often does it happen that the story producers present a story to you as an editor, and what they present is just not there on camera?
Yeah, it's not a bit controversial. It happens a lot. It does happen a lot. And sometimes we are forced to make that story work. And that means stealing from everywhere to try and make the story work. But there has been a lot of times where someone has sold a story, which decision makers have found the story to be groundbreaking, and it is. And then when you see it, you're like, we cannot base our episode around this because it actually is very weak. Yeah. And then you just have to come up with a plan to, Leroux, the things we've done to make a story work. I mean, we're still telling the truth, but it's just...
I mean, from a slightly different angle, there's a term in the editing world called Frankenbiting.
Oh, Frankenbiting, yes.
Can you just elaborate a little bit on that? And do you use that?
Frankenbiting is most probably one of the biggest tools we have. And I suppose some people would think it's controversial as well, because you're putting words into people's mouth. But basically, it's taking an interview and cutting it up to make the person say what you want them to say. But obviously, you have to be very careful, because you don't want them to say things that they wouldn't have said, or it's something you're trying to make controversy. You have to still keep it in line with what the story is and the participants' truth. Yeah. And that is also very tricky, because the problem is you take it from, when you Frankenbite an interview, you take it from many different interviews, which have to be covered and made to look seamless. So, and it's a handy tool, and a lot of people are against it because you are putting words in someone's mouth. But I think the words we are putting in their mouths are still the truth. Yeah, it's just our truth. Yeah.
To aid our story. I mean, and
Made our story, yes. Yeah. It's still their story though, but it's just unfortunately they didn't say it in a more accurate, or not accurate, a more direct way. So we make them say it in a direct way. So I always joke. I always say like, do you think some of the contestants always sit back and they watch it like, I never said that. Yeah. Or I never knew I sounded so profound. But meanwhile, it was us making them sound profound.
and that's where your magic lies in, is the fact that you can take something that doesn't quite make sense and is possibly very long-winded,
Yes.
and cut it down to a
Yeah.
bite-sized soundbite that sounds like this person has
Yeah.
the knowledge of Plato.
Exactly. Yeah. And unfortunately, some people are just really bad at interviewing. That you're making them say what they want to say, but better. So it's just it's just the reality of it. Yeah, really. So yeah, it's a very handy tool, and without that, we would be lost.
Explain to me your
Uh,
process in terms of how you put together a scene. Let's take, for instance, something like a Survivor, because it's most of the audience would have seen Survivor.
Yes.
What are the building blocks to make a good unscripted reality scene?
In a Survivor, it's high emotion and conspiracy. Yeah. And the more you can drive those, the more watchable it is. Yeah. And that, the art of that is listening for the smallest little up sounds to make things controversial. Yeah.
Okay. So you have a reality scene play out.
Yes.
You find the best
Yeah.
bits of it, and then obviously the narration helps with it. If there is narration for it.
Your step one is starting with the scene. Yeah. Our interviews are always second. Yeah.
Okay.
We always want to tell the story with the reality first and keep the interviews to fill in the gaps.
Right.
And the best part about those scenes, it's created with all little looks and little sound effects, and music. Basically, that's what you're doing. Yeah. It's finding the great scene, looking for the moments you want to get, and then building that up with looks. Yeah. And looks from other contestants, looks that could have happened. I think the nice thing about Survivor is they wear the same clothes every day. So you can steal looks from other days to make your story more impactful.
What makes a good unscripted reality camera person, in your opinion?
A camera person is someone who listens. A camera person who listens to the story and knows exactly when to reframe and what moments. Yeah, and gives you all the tools to tell your stories, like wides, non-syncs, and all those things to tell your story.
Just for for our audience who don't know, just the wides and the non-syncs, if you can just...
A wide shot. So a wide shot would be a wide shot of the scene where you could see, if it's two people, you can see both, or just a group shot, really. And a non-sync is a shot where you can use that to cheat sync. So you cannot see you can see them, but you can't hear their mouth. You can't see their mouth moving. So you can cheat those shots in to create a better scene, a seamless scene.
In terms of all the projects that you've worked on over the years, what has sparked the most joy for you?
The most joy, I mean, hands down, it's Survivor. I mean, you cannot beat working on a Survivor. The journey of that edit is just phenomenal because there's so many different ways you can take that story, and every way is an exciting story, but you still have to choose the best one. And there's just it gives you the most joy. Survivor gives you the most joy. When it comes to reality editing, there's no other show better than Survivor.
Follow up on that. How has your storytelling in edit changed over the 5-6 seasons of Survivor that you've edited? Has it changed?
I know, it definitely has changed. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started Survivor and I was with Craig. It was overwhelming because we were working 7 days a week, like 16 hours a day to get the show out, and I was overwhelmed. But the nice thing is, Craig threw me at everything. I did the reality, I did the tribal councils, I did the games. I did the previously ons with Henry, and I got to experience all the different parts of Survivor, which made me a stronger editor, where I got to learn about the music and how the music works and storytelling. And then once I got that mastered, I can't remember what season it was now. It is the one, Samoa. I go back and Andre told me, "Oh no, you're going to be the finishing editor now on Survivor." And then there's a totally different art in finishing, because now you have to bring a 2-hour episode into 45 minutes. And it was so intimidating, because I didn't, where do you cut? What do you lose? But Andre really taught me how to be a finishing editor, because he would take my timelines and go, lose from here to here, and give me markers. But now that just becomes second instinct to me on how to cut down timelines. So I think as you go, you cannot, every production you have to be learning. On every edit, you have to be learning. If you're not learning on every edit, you shouldn't be in the game anymore, because that's like, and on another level as well, I think what started happening as well, we never used to have content people really in edit. And then which season? It was our last season of Survivor, when our head of content, David Enright, came into edit. And that opened up a whole new ball game for us, because it also, we didn't know how to work with David now, because we had never worked so closely with a content person. So both of us, the edit team and out, had to figure out, okay, how do we work together? And it took a while. But now we can't do it without each other, because we've just become so, like, we're attached at the hip now. So you can't.
Codependent, I think, is the
We are codependent. Yeah.
and it's beautiful for me to see how you and David now have a
Yeah.
shorthand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically when it comes to
Yeah.
finishing an episode.
Yes.
Because he would start a sentence and you would say, "Okay, I'm on it."
Yeah.
And literally 5 seconds later, it's the thought
Yeah.
pattern is corrected.
And most of the time, David and I have the same thought at the same time. And when he comes to, we kind of converge together and have the same thought. I joke with Christine, my wife, and I tell her that David knows me most probably just as well as you do, because he knows when I'm angry, he knows when things are irritating me, and yeah, it's just been it's been a really great working relationship to have that in edit now, and I don't think a lot of editors have that, like that experience of working so closely with people like that, which is so much fun.
What's the most
Yeah.
important thing that you've
Yeah.
learned as an
Yeah.
as an editor,
Yeah.
but to be a better human being?
Definitely patience. Yeah, patience. Yeah, patience has been one of my biggest, learnings from this, because I generally am a very impatient person, very impatient, and this is definitely a patience game, because things don't come quickly. Yeah, and also when working with other people, when you know what you need to happen, but you have to run other people for it to get there, and you know there's a faster way, but you just have to let it go, and patience teaches you to stay the course.
You are now the head of post-production for afrOkaans, and you've now done all of these amazing shows. We're busy with the big streaming show, and that's a different kind of ball game. That's completely, completely different way of doing, of what we're used to. We used to kind of get the episode out as quickly as possible, but now you're really taking your time and like you said in the beginning, storytelling is now being redefined for you.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you think that storytelling is going to be redefined in the future with stuff like AI?
I mean, I think
Is it on the radar?
it's definitely on the radar, and I think a lot of people feel threatened by it. But personally, I don't think we need to feel threatened by it just yet, because I don't think that AI can possibly do what we do at the moment. Where AI is important for us is to help us get to the story faster, because what we're learning now on the show, using AI to transcribe and our footage and interviews and everything, so we just get to a story faster, rather than having to read through everything or watch everything. I think that's one of the biggest advantages, where you don't have to watch everything anymore. Yeah, you can literally go and search for things on, it's like stupid things like, sometimes when we go back to the Frankenbiting, where we have to splice together interviews, sometimes you have to look for an and or a but. Has anyone ever gone through hours of footage to look for a perfect and or but to fix a Frankenbite? But now with AI, with your transcribing, you can search for that and but and find those very quickly. So it's turned a couple of hour job into 10 minutes now. So I definitely think it helps us make the approach faster and then just easier. Yeah. But I don't think it'll ever be able to edit. I hope I don't eat those words. I hope I don't. But yeah.
Andrew, you're going to say something to yourself for 18 years into camera.
I'm sorry, Andrew.
The big thing for me is,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
you're talking now, and the idea just
Yeah.
kind of sparked.
Yeah.
We are not far away
Yeah.
from AI
Mm.
sampling a voice, and I'm sure it can do it already, but
Mm.
sampling a voice, and then you basically type in
Yeah.
what that person needs to say, and
Well, yeah, I mean, we've just recently had that. And I mean, we were playing around with these AI tools, recreating things, and it's just incredible the power of what it can do. I mean, you know yourself, fixing things for us, because there are things that need to be fixed in post-production, like the famous saying, let's fix it in post. Yeah. Everyone's famous last words, let's fix it in post. But they don't know how expensive that is. But then, you know yourself, you've been our let's fix it in post person.
well, you know, yeah, I dabble in
Yeah.
in that department.
Yeah.
My personal one,
Successfully.
my personal one would
Yeah.
be that you fix it in pre-production.
Yeah.
You know, that
Oh.
would be ideal. Anyway,
Also very controversial. But look, going back to that, I used to be one of those people that was very critical of a production crew. I'm like, why didn't they get that right on set and all that? And I think one of the best things was when they started bringing us onto set for Survivor, and you get to live on set and experience what happens there. And it's easy for us to sit in our air-conditioned edit suites and complain to the people that didn't get what us editors wanted, because it's a hell of a difficult job out there in the field. We can complain about content people, but it's a difficult job to try and get all those things that can easily be missed. So yeah, I'm not that guy anymore.
yeah, you're breaking the stigma of
Yeah.
the collective noun for editors, right?
Yeah.
A moan of
A
editors.
moan of editors. Yes. Our famous award. Yeah. Look, you'll never stop us from moaning. We love a good moan. I love a good moan. Yeah. Yeah.
In your opinion,
Yeah.
what is the most difficult show that you've ever edited?
The most difficult show is definitely the current show we are working on. I mean, all of them are difficult. Survivor is extremely difficult. And there's been shows that have just been difficult and horrible, and you're just not interested in the show anymore. But then there's shows that are difficult, and you definitely go through the 5 stages of grief in them, but it's still a show you can be proud to have worked on. I mean, yeah, there are shows that are really difficult to work on, but give you great joys. I mean, we did a show called Klein Paradise for CakeNet. It was a new format, and it was a format that we still had to fill in the holes during edit, and it ended up being one of the most difficult shows I think all of us had worked on. But by the end of that show, it was such a privilege to have worked on it, because it turned out to be such a nice, heartwarming show.
Feel good.
And it was a feel-good show, and it was different because it didn't have this person's going home. So the stakes were different for everyone. It was definitely a more emotional show, and it became less about the building and more about the people. Yeah. And I think everyone who worked on that show definitely to this day still says they want to do a second season.
Yeah.
Because it was such a nice show to work on. But difficult-wise, the show we are currently working on, definitely the most difficult we've ever worked on, but in a good way. Yeah.
I'll put a link in the description for Klein Paradise, just so if you're
Yeah.
not familiar with that.
Yeah. Fantastic show.
What was the most fun that you've ever had on set?
The most fun I've ever had on set was most probably when we did Survivor Philippines. Yeah. That was
28.
Yeah, that was just so much fun. Because we're in the Philippines, and it was just so much fun. But I think generally all Survivor sets are just so much fun. It's just the camaraderie on those sets is just amazing, and just all departments get on so well, and everyone's just cool. It's just such a nice atmosphere to be part of, and everyone's so invested in the show. It's just incredible. Like there's nothing like,
And everybody's working asses
everyone works their asses off on Survivor. I don't think people realize how difficult that show is to
produce.
produce.
Yeah,
And yet it's weird. Like people work, like it's difficult. It's really difficult. And at the end of the day, people still come back happy and so invested in the stories. I mean, when you sit in those edit suites, because obviously we're lucky, we get to sit in aircon edit suites. Well, it's like 40 degrees outside and you go through monsoons and everything while we're sitting there. But when everyone comes in at the end of the day to come see us, they are so passionate about the stories. And we get, like, that's where we learn about the stories, is from the crew that come in every day. And it could be a random person who's not even involved. It's like the transport person comes in and knows more about the story than you. And it's just like that information. It's just so much fun being on set, seeing that. And seeing everyone work so hard, it's so rewarding.
yeah.
And what it does is it makes you, when you go back, when everyone goes back, you want to do a good job because you saw how hard everyone worked. You want to make the show good for them because they work so hard to get you the stuff that you need to make the show work.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in terms of editing unscripted?
Watching people's stories in reality is quite something, because I think the general viewer doesn't get to see what we see. I mean, we see everything. People's like seeing reality contestants like put so much into these competitions. I just take something like a MasterChef, for example. Like, this means a lot to people. These stories mean a lot to people, like that have entered, especially like a Survivor, because it's a different type of person to enter Survivor. It just teaches you a bit of humility about the world, because like it teaches you a lot. It does. I think it makes you a stronger person, have a better outlook on things, because you see a lot of people's problems that never make it to air. Like, it's a personal thing they've discussed during the shoot with another contestant. And it makes you more, it gives you a bit more humility about the world. And when you hear so many different people's stories from all walks of life, you look back and you're like, yeah, my life's not that bad, actually. Yeah, I'm actually doing okay. Yeah.
Tell me a
Yeah.
horror story
Yeah.
about an edit that you were part of.
Once, when I was still in my corporate video commercial video editing days, I did a launch campaign for a big mobile network that involved a comedian. I will not name names of those. And I was involved in the campaign. Everything was going well. I enjoyed the edit. And then it finished. And I don't know what it was. I got very sick and I got a virus and I got admitted into hospital. And while I was in hospital, I got a phone call because I was with an agency at the time. And apparently I was being sued for corporate espionage because I had given away industry secrets about this launch to this mobile network's competitor. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm in hospital. I'm busy. Yeah. Anyway, the lady who was head of this agency wished death upon me. So lawyers had to get involved because I was being charged with corporate espionage. Yeah. And I wasn't allowed to work. And obviously I'd come out of hospital because I was quite sick at the time. And luckily enough, I had to take like a good, I think I was off work for well over a month because I wasn't allowed to work anymore because I was under investigation for corporate espionage. And in the end, they found out it was one of the employees at the company who had given the secret away, and it wasn't me. And still to this day, I never got an apology. Yeah, but it was hardcore. I nearly lost my career because I had been accused of corporate espionage. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, at the time, I couldn't do anything because I was in hospital and I was so sick. But luckily, the agency who I was with, the lady that owned it, she was fully on my side because she knew I wouldn't do something like that. So she handled it with her lawyers, and they got, it was crazy. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. Corporate espionage. I'm like,
You collaborate quite a lot with specific storytellers.
Yes.
You mentioned David Enright, you mentioned Henry.
mm,
What's your favorite way of collaborating?
I think also at a stage now, where I'm in editing right now, is I normally don't get involved in the offline as much anymore. I get a long timeline with everyone's pieces. And I love sitting down with David and watching an ep and going, right, where are the holes in this ep? how are we going to plug this? And we just craft that timeline until it's a complete story. I love it now. I never used to like finishing, but I really am a big fan of it now. I love fixing those plugged holes. Yeah, those holes that you need to plug. And I enjoy doing it with someone like David, because it really is on the same wavelength of thinking, and it's just so much fun sitting with a whole timeline. Yeah. Still love offline though, but finishing is definitely
And I guess if you find that like-minded person that you don't mind spending time with them, it's great.
Oh yeah, I mean, we spent
Second marriage.
too much time together. Yeah, way too much time together.
That's beautiful.
But it's so rewarding because, I mean, you get to just bring that episode to life.
Yeah.
And it's just it's quite weird. Like in the past, we would have to like present episodes to executives that are long, and we still needed to work on it. But it became quite a competition for David and I to hand an episode over that was complete, and ready for that. This is the episode, So
Because you both are quite competitive, so
well, well, a little bit,
we're gonna finish off with a round of quickfire.
Yes, okay.
So first thing that comes up.
Okay.
This is just a little bit of fun, just to kind of see where you are at.
Yeah.
Just quick answers. Timeline, clean or messy?
Oh, clean. Yeah.
Coffee or silence?
Oh no, I can't. Both.
First pass, chronologically or emotionally?
Chronological.
Watch everything or search for moments?
Watch everything.
Music first or picture first?
Picture.
Hard cut or dissolve?
Hard cut.
Reaction shot, essential or dangerous?
Essential.
Voice over or confessional?
Confessional.
Short episode or slow burn?
Depends on the show, but it depends on the show.
Okay. The worst note, make it pop or more energy?
Oh, more energy. Yeah.
You're hunting first, character or plot?
Plot.
Villain edit, found or built?
It would be both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blindside, music swell or silence?
It depends on the story, but both. Yeah. Nothing like silence to tell a
little blindside story. Funniest moment, keep or sacrifice for pace?
Unfortunately, sacrifice.
Tears, hold longer or cut early?
Hold longer.
Narration.
Please hold longer. Yeah.
Narration explains or images explain?
Images.
Too confusing or too obvious? Specifically with the current line, right?
It's weird. At the moment, it's too obvious.
Ending, closure or ambiguity?
Ambiguity.
Frankenbite, tool or last resort?
Tool.
Ever felt protective over a contestant?
Yes.
Is fairness possible in an edit?
Oh, yes.
One frame can change meaning, terrifying or exciting?
Exciting.
Show truth or emotional truth?
Oh, definitely emotional truth that you need to be.
Most stressful export percentage to stall on?
97%.
The moment you know the episode works?
When watching and people are laughing and reacting.
The moment you know it doesn't?
When there's absolute silence in the room.
Biggest time thief, notes or media management?
Well, let's not get into media management, but media management.
Deadline day, calm, focus or chaos?
Chaos. Oh.
Okay. And do you watch the final broadcast comfortably?
Yes. Yeah.
Watching reality TV at home, analyzing or relaxing?
Analyzing. My wife hates watching with me. Because you definitely know who's going home. So.
Scene you're the proudest of. Was it subtle or spectacular?
Spectacular.
After that, watch something or avoid screams?
Watch something. Yeah.
Okay. Editing is closer to writing or directing?
Writing. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
Andrew, it's been such fun.
Thank you, Leroux. I
for the
appreciate
chat.
that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it was like
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
knowing what you know, and I think
Yeah.
there's
Mm.
a much deeper delve into what you know.
Yes. Yeah.
What would be the last
Yeah.
kind of advice you would give to upcoming unscripted editors?
Don't be afraid to dive in, man. I think it's one of the most rewarding storytelling you can do. I mean, it's like a blank canvas. And there's a story there, but it's a blank canvas. Yeah. And it's so much fun. Yeah. So much fun. And it's real emotions. Yeah. It's real emotions that you're dealing with every day. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast from, and we'll see you next time.
Copy that.